friends, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit it, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate the support that I've gotten this far into my channel. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but we're slowly growing. I decided that I would make a video inspired by my Emori Denim. Some of you may know, some of you may not know that is the reason why I started this business. And this month, the month of March, is Trisomy Awareness Month. So in this video, I'll be giving you some details about what Edwards syndrome is, Trisomy 18, and just talking a little bit about my baby girl. I'll be touching bases too on some of my trisomy moms, my really good friend Brooke and my good friend Katrina, and I'll be sharing some pictures. And I decided to do this video on myself. I'm just going to do my left hand, and I'm going to make these nails sugar bear nails. So I named Emori Denim, but I nicknamed her Sugar Bear, so that's pretty much what I called her all the time. And I decided to make these nails like a clear bluish type of nail, which is perfect because when I had Emori, like I named her Emori Denim, but I never ever knew that trisomy awareness colors are blue, light blue. And so it's just the perfect combination for her name and the fact that everything associated with it is blue. So these nails will be like a clear blue type of look, and I'm gonna put like a cute little clear resin, a clear blue resin teddy bear on them and make little sugar bear nails. So as we go further into the video, I'll be going into details a little bit more about what trisomy 18 is. So before I go into full detail about what trisomy 18 Edwards syndrome is, I am going to give you a little backstory on the pregnancy. So when I found out that Emori had trisomy 18, I was about 19 weeks pregnant. When I found out at the doctor, they ran some blood tests and it came back that my baby, had a chromosome disorder. So it was, at first I didn't really understand it, because no mother wants to hear that their baby could possibly have a disorder or disability or anything like that. So I was so emotional. But I remember my doctor just being there for me. He was really, really sweet. He's a Christian, so, he approached me about it in the most loving way that he could. And he told me that I would probably need to, find a specialist for my baby from then on. So I went on ahead and got a specialist for the pregnancy so I can get, in more depth details about what was going on with her. So when I went to the specialist, they ran a lot more tests, but I just noticed that they were so, like, they just didn't care about my feelings. They didn't care about my baby. And it was new for me because I had just left a doctor that was, treating my baby like everything was perfectly fine, like treating my baby like a human. Well, when I went and got to the specialist after, learning that my baby had this condition, I noticed that they just did not care. Like I asked when they was, examining my belly and stuff at the specialist doctor, I would ask questions, laying on the table, like, what's going on? What do you see? And I literally had a doctor tell me that it didn't matter. It didn't matter what I saw because my baby wasn't going to live anyway. So me being pregnant and extremely emotional, that hurt my feelings to the core. I thought that was just not normal. Still, I'm very new to this. Didn't understand, why they were feeling this way or feeling the need to talk to me like that. I just was taking these punches. They later after, them running all type of tests and stuff on me and taking all type of x-rays of my belly, and they sat me and my husband in a room and decided to like break down what trisomy 18 or Edwards syndrome is. So they told me that pretty much my baby would not live. They told me that my baby was not going to live past birth. They told me that my baby had rocker bottom feet, which is like, that's a whole nother situation, rocker bottom feet. They told me that my baby had cysts on her brain. They told me that Emori would never be able to recognize me. They told me that Emori would never ever be able to like follow me with her eyes, or they just pretty much told me that, she was useless. In other words, they told me that I should abort her. And they bombarded me with all of this information like at one time. So I was I was I was emotional. I was just crying. I just couldn't even believe that, these people were saying these type of things to me, and didn't even feel the need to want to tell me that what my baby was looking like on pictures, because they felt like it was pointless. Like it was the most, I had never, it was just crazy. No mother should ever have to go through something like that within her pregnancy. It was just the most traumatic pregnancy I've ever been through in my life. I didn't know what to do. So I came home and I decided to, pray about it, and I just didn't know what to do. I just knew that something just told me that Emori was going to make it. So, even though they were telling me that my baby wouldn't make it to birth, they told me that she could die inside of me. Just all type of things. They worried me half to death my whole entire pregnancy. My whole pregnancy, I cried and cried and cried. It was rarely ever a time that I didn't, especially at doctor's appointments. But I started to look up research, and all the research that they had on these babies were horrible. Like the pictures and stuff that they have on Google are horrible. Like it would drive any mom that is dealing with this crazy. And that is for trisomy 18 and for trisomy 13. Like it is just horrible. Like they don't have much research on Edwards syndrome at all. But it's kind of hard for them to have research on Edwards syndrome, because they encourage mothers to abort them so much. So it's hard for them to get like a solid amount of research on these children. So after she was born, which I did go my full pregnancy, I went my full pregnancy, and Emori came out, and she came out to me just fine. She came out just fine in her own way, because she definitely had disabilities, and she had all of those things, but she had a will. She fought to be here. And I figured as long as my baby is fighting to be here, I felt like she had every chance. I felt like I should take every chance for her to be here. So typically what our babies have is congenital heart failure. A lot of our babies have congenital heart failure. They also have a lot of other things that can, it can keep them from, being what typical babies are. They have a lot of them have, what is the word? Abnormal type fingers. Some of them have abnormal looking feet. A lot of them have hip problems. Some of our babies have developed liver cancers. Some of them develop cysts on the brain. Like it's just all type of things that can, that our babies deal with. A lot of them deal with issues with their kidneys. It's just so many things that our babies have issues with. But with the right intervention and the right care, our babies can, and they do thrive, and they do very, very well. I'm going to show you later in this video some pictures of my friend Brooke and her daughter Phoenix. But sometimes our babies don't live and they don't thrive, and it just depends on care. Timing means a lot when dealing with a baby that has these type of issues. And some of our babies don't make it. Like my baby Emori, she did not make it. She lived for 4 months and 26 days. but I feel that she could have. If she would have had surgery earlier in life, then she would have made it. But because they didn't really want to, they approached me in a different type of way. They tried to, you know, make me feel like, oh, we give her all of these medications, then what they did was just prolonged her life when they could have helped her. So I found like other doctors and stuff, and I found my Trisomy tribe on the internet, and they helped me with everything. And that's how I started to find out that doctors really were not trying to help Emory. They was really trying to kill her. Honestly, they were trying to kill her. They knew what they were doing, and they knew that my lack of knowledge of it, they was just doing whatever they could to prolong it, to prolong her life as long as they could, even though they knew that, with surgery and a lot of other things, and if I would have gotten it done earlier, she probably would have lived. So with that being said, I just took the information that I learned, and when I reached out, and when other moms that were, around the world finding out that they babies had this as well, they reached out to me, and I just shared the information, and I was able to help my friend Brooke, that I've never actually physically met, but we are like sisters. And Emory brought us all together. Emory brought me and my particular tribe, brought us all together, but I helped her, figure out what was the right moves for her baby, because they were trying to do the same exact thing they did to Emory. They were trying to do to her. And Phoenix is now 3 years old. So, it was just a very, very, very rough time in my life. I just don't even know how I got through it other than God. Like, God helped me through. God saw me through all of it. And thankfully, I was able to, find the light, because for a long time I was very dark, as any mom would that loses their daughter. And I had such a strong bond with Emory. Like a big, big part of me left with her. And a big part of me is with her. And I just ain't ever been the same ever since. So I try my best to love on her the best way that I can through my art. So that's how I got Nailed by Emori Denim about. And I'm going to try my best to continue to spread awareness about Edwards syndrome as much as I possibly can through my business. I have many, many goals that I want to reach and things that I want to do, with that. But, in due time, it'll all come together. People were reaching out to me about Kiki Wyatt when they found out that her daughter, or not her daughter, when they found out that her unborn baby has trisomy 13. And, my tribe of women are pretty much trisomy 18 and trisomy 13. So my good friend Brooke told me that she already reached out to Kiki Wyatt's management to, offer support and help if she needed any, because I don't really know of any other tribe out there outside of ours. There is a tribe out there for trisomy awareness, but they are, to me and a lot of other members of our tribe, feel that they are really against intervention because of our own experiences with that particular tribe. So we started our own tribe on Facebook, and I'm going to link those hashtags and on in the description box, and you'll be able to go on there and look if you are someone that is dealing with finding out that your child or your or someone that may have trisomy 18 or Edwards syndrome or trisomy 13. I'll have some hashtags where you can go and look and find and do some research on your own on how to get in contact with the group, because it is a private group. But once you find a group and you give all the information on, let them know that your baby has this condition, then they'll invite you in. And so hopefully somebody can reach out to Kiki Wyatt and she can understand that she doesn't have to go through this alone. There's a lot of us out here. There's a lot of black women in particularly that are going through this. And it is a proven fact that African American babies that have trisomy 18, our babies tend to live longer. So it is a lot of information out there that is for Black women in particularly that is dealing with this, because our babies, they go through a lot. They go through a lot of discrimination. They go through a lot. They literally treat our babies like aliens. I've had a woman that was in, where was she from? I think she was either from Russia. She was from somewhere out the country, and she was looking up trisomy awareness or hashtags and all of that stuff and found me. And she literally inboxed me and was like begging for help, any type of help. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know what to say because she told me in her language. I had to translate it. But she told me that her daughter, she had just had her daughter, had her baby, wherever it is that she was, and that they were telling her that she could not visit her baby. And they told her that she couldn't visit her baby. When I asked her why, she told me that they told her they didn't want her to bond with her baby. They didn't want her to bond with her baby because her baby was going to die anyway. Could you imagine being a mother and someone telling you that you can't see your baby? They won't even let you go and see the baby because the baby's going to die anyway. Man, I just cried for her, literally cried for her. I couldn't even believe it. I just couldn't believe that someone could be that cruel. People treat our babies, some doctors, they treat our babies like they are aliens, like they're not humans. And these babies are literally some of the sweetest babies I've ever seen in my entire life. Like they are literally angels here on earth. So, I just try my best to offer support to any medical moms that, need it. Nailed by Emori Denim will always be a safe haven and place where people should, my medical mamas can come and sit down and get services done. And, if you have a child that, has a disability, you can bring your child if you would like to. I do want to just offer many different things that can be of service to medical mamas. I'm trying to get some things together now so I can figure out how to go about it so everything runs smoothly. But as time goes on, I will be figuring this thing out because it is a lot. And I want to make sure that, medical mamas feel like they have a place where they can come and have a peace of mind, because it is not easy being a medical mom at all. Like some mothers are out here, going crazy because their child has a common cold when, that's just regular typical motherhood. Well, then there's medical moms and medical mom motherhood, and a typical cold could kill your child. So it's just not the same. And, you just never have a break being a medical mom. It's just always something. It's never just as simple as, oh, my baby has a fever. Something as simple as that could literally take your baby out. I have had one of my medical moms, her baby passed away having a bowel movement. So things that are normal for a regular mother and children, like I have children that have no disabilities, making a bowel movement, it's like, oh, the baby pooped. Well, for some mothers, that could be life or death. So, it's just a lot. It's a lot. And I just want to make sure that I can provide a place where my mothers can come and know that this is a place where it's something familiar. So I'm going to finish out the rest of this video, and I'm going to put some inserts towards the end of my friends, my Trisomy tribe, some of our babies, some that are living, some that have passed on and went to be in heaven. And I'm going to post some information about Edwards syndrome And that'll be all for this video. I'll probably go into detail and talk a little bit about these nails, and that's it. My first time ever in life. Hit them sides.
They see me rolling. They hating.